Okay, welcome to the International Cooking Show for another dish. Today we're going vegetarian, as we try to put a lot of vegetarian dishes in our repertoire since it's the current trend, I guess.
I guess so. A lot of people are sending Mitchell a lot of emails. You know, what have we got for the vegetarians? Chef Lewis, you've come up with one.
I've come up with one, and I've actually tried an old Greek recipe, which is the Moussaka recipe, as we all know, which is delicious. I took the meat out, so we're going to make a vegetarian moussaka, and just put a few more ingredients in. So in the end of the day, you end up with a recipe that has a lot more fiber. It's a lot, basically, veggies that are good for you.
Yes.
It's a typical vegetarian dish, but because it has eggs and milk, if you're a vegan, for example, you can use soy milk and you can use some of the tofu-based cheeses.
Yeah.
And you can be a complete vegan if you like it.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's a beautiful vegetarian dish.
Absolutely. Actually, to be honest with you, I prefer this than the meat version.
Yes.
Meat doesn't have enough flavor. We put flavor in the meat, don't we?
Yes.
Well, this we actually added some more things to it, and it just comes out. It's so nice.
Okay.
What we do with this, I've prepared most of it, so in order to save time, so most of the prep is done. I have sliced 2 eggplants here, and what I need to do now with the eggplant to prevent it from being a little bit bitter, because some of the eggplants are bitter, not all of them. What we do, we pick up some salt and we salt it and leave it for 20 minutes, and then we rinse it off. Basically, that's all we have to do. A bit rough, but it's okay because all that salt is going to come off. Don't have to worry, I'll just give it a bit of a stir, and that's about all. The salt will actually draw the liquid out of the eggplant, then we just rinse it off. I mean, the reason I don't put any more is because I've already done it. It's just for demonstration purposes.
That's right, yeah.
So we don't wait here for 20 minutes.
That's correct.
We have there's about 3 or 4 zucchinis here, 3 large potatoes sliced. Put them in the water so they don't discolorate. Normally, if you're cooking straight away, you wouldn't worry about this. And these are our basic vegetables that go in there. The rest of it's for the sauce. We have some butter and flour here to do the bechamel sauce, or the bechamel sauce Greek style with cheese and eggs, just to hold it together. We've got some parsley, onion, and some shallots. Some tomato puree, some dried tomatoes, cheese, eggs, and a few spices here. It's not necessary to use this. I've got some nutmeg here. I've got some allspice, and I found this one called Greek seasoning. I've never heard of it, but
give it a go.
Give it a go.
Okay.
Sounds Greek, so must be good.
Must be Greek.
Right? So these are the sauce ingredients. So this dish is actually in 3 different layers. The first layer are the vegetables. The second layer is the sauce that goes on top of the vegetables, and the third layer is a bechamel type sauce with cheese to finish it off.
Beautiful. Let's start.
So let's start, okay? So basically I just need to rinse the water out of this eggplant now, because like I said before, I've already done it. It's fine. And we start assembling. Now what we need to do with this is we either pan fry them or grill them.
Yes.
I'm going to use some flour. I'm going to dip them in flour to do that,
yes,
because the flour will absorb any liquids that are floating around when we put it in the oven.
Yes.
New trick.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's go over to the wash. Basically, let's just wash them, and we just grill our eggplants and the rest of our veg. Nice. Martin's watching me under the watchful eye of the executive chef.
Just making sure that you're doing it right.
A little bit more. That gives the eggplant a little bit more flavor as well, because the sugars caramelize.
So Chef Louis.
Chef Louis, we just turn them over. You can see they start to brown off a little bit, which gives us a little bit of extra flavor.
It's just starting to get some really nice colour on those eggplants.
That's all we want, because they're not really cooked, but they're just nicely coloured. We've got the flour in there, nice flavours developing from the sugars.
Yes.
There.
Is there a substitute to this?
To the eggplant, you
Yes.
mean? Yes, you can use any hard vegetable. Yeah, of course. It's
So
just that
you could use things like butternut pumpkin,
yeah,
squash.
absolutely. Now, if you use these soft vegetables, it's better to use a layer of potato down the bottom, because potato is hard and it will serve as a base. Because if you use pumpkin and you put it down the bottom of the baking tin, is actually going to be all mush by the time you finish. So we tend to put that in the middle. And also with pumpkin, I mean, if I was going to use pumpkin, I'll make sure the potatoes are partially cooked because pumpkin cooks quickly, so we don't get much in the middle of it either.
Starting to look really nice.
They're fantastic. We can actually take them off now and do our zucchinis. Look at that. This is what we're after. Isn't that nice? Eh? It smells good. Love eggplant. I don't know about you, but eggplant is one of my favorite vegetables. You know. Get ready. Don't put them on. I'm going to put some oil on the plate. Now we'll cook our zucchini, same thing like the eggplants. I'm gonna be gentleman-like. Let's pick them up with the tongs there. Save a bit more. Again, just brown them off a little bit, and away we go. How good is that? You can go a little bit heavy or light on whatever vegetable you want. There's no rules. I personally like the flavor of the eggplant and the zucchini. And we're going to use the potatoes for the base. Yeah, put them all in. Thank you.
Oh, you want a hand, do you?
Yeah, of course. That's what you're here for. I'll give you a hand this morning. We need some more flour. Just a little bit. So I can thicken my sauce. Nice. Okay. That's it? We done it? Yeah, one layer of potatoes. Done. We heat up some oil, a little bit of olive oil in a pot to make our sauce, and when it's nice and hot, I'm going to add our onion. I've got some shallots to go there as well. The onion, we need to cook it a little bit longer. I've got this new Spanish type of onion. I've never tried it before, but I had a taste, so it's rather sweet. I think it's going to be nice for this dish. Mm-hmm. It tends to be sweeter than the... it's not even Spanish. Yeah. What was it actually? It was actually something different. It was called the... it wasn't Spanish, it was like a Spanish onion, it was Tuscan, yeah.
Spanish onion.
And I had a taste of it raw, and I thought that's rather nice, it's rather sweet. Yeah. Okay, in she goes. Just gently pan fry. We can put our shallots there. The shallots look, normally I prefer them raw actually, but they do have a rather different flavor, I find. That's rather nice.
Yes.
You agree with me?
Yeah,
it's got that spring onion flavor. I really like it in these meat-free dishes. And we'll put our tomato puree into the sauce.
Any particular brand that you like?
Not really, mate. Tomato. Even if you blend your own tomatoes, it will be fine. Just take the skin off. Yeah. And I also like to add some chopped dried tomatoes.
Yeah. You like the semi-dry or the
I prefer the semi-dry because. No matter how much you cook the dry ones, they're still very chewy.
Very chewy, yeah.
And on a soft dish, you're going to have everything in harmony, right. I think,
yeah,
you know.
I think so, yeah.
At this point that I didn't mention before, I like to add some white wine if we have. That was not on the recipe, but I just like to add it in. And give it a bit of a stir, and we'll check the seasoning. This sauce has to be rather thick. Because we don't want it to run all the way down the tray when we build the stacks, so we just let it reduce maybe a little bit of allspice. So I just turn it very, very low, just let it evaporate a bit more. That's nice, eh? Good, ready to go on top. And just let it simmer here. We do the bechamel. better. That's the real thing. And yeah, that's good. Nice and sandy. Agree?
Agree.
Beautiful. Yep. Okay, let's go. Thank you. Adding the milk slowly so it doesn't get lumpy. Nice. We want to make this slightly thicker as well because that's going to be the cover. Slightly, we're going to add the cheeses in there as well, and they're going to melt. At this point, we're putting our flavorings: salt, pepper, and cheese. I'll put the cheese in first because the cheese could be rather salty before we check the flavoring. A little bit of Parmesan as well, and leave some of my Parmesan out to decorate the top when it goes in the oven. And that's nice, eh? Yummy stuff. I can't wait. Can you wait? No.
Nope.
That's pretty yummy. Yeah. I just want it really thick. And the reason we're doing this thick, guys, is because we want it to stay on top of the baked product. We don't want it to seep all the way through down the bottom. And we want it to crisp up.
So you're basically making a mornay?
Yes, it's a type of mornay. Yeah, I think
Bechamel with some nutmeg,
Parmesan,
Parmesan,
salt and
and
pepper.
mozzarella becomes a mornay.
Yeah. Well, we're not using mozzarella here. We're using, normally in Greece you would use a cheese called kefalotiri, but we don't have that, so I just use some tasty cheese. It's actually a rather unique flavor of the Greek kefalotiri. And some white pepper. And then we check the seasoning again, because Martin tells me seasoning is the key. Martin tells me that seasoning is the key to everything here. Now we're going to assemble our vegetarian moussaka. We'll put a few layers of vegetables first. We don't need to grease the tray because we cook this in oil anyway, so they're already well greased. The first layer we'll put down will be the potato, because the potato is the most solid vegetable, so when you take it out of the tray, it will hold together better. So we'll put a layer of potatoes down the bottom, cover the whole bottom of it as our first item. Oh, all the smells and the flavors are coming through. It's amazing. Okay. Now we'll put a layer of zucchinis. So just put them across the other way. The eggplant that escaped. A couple more zucchinis to go here just to finish off that layer. And now we'll put a layer of eggplant on top. Actually, what I might do, because eggplant is going to cover it completely, I just use a little bit of the sauce just to moisten it. Just to moisten this layer. Just a little bit of that sauce, and we'll put the rest of it on top of the eggplant. Just a little bit. So that's our last layer. And doesn't have to be extremely perfect, but we'll go as close as we can. Beautiful. And we'll lay it all up. There's one there. Yeah. That's it, perfect. That's exactly what we want. Just press it down a little bit so it's nice and solid. And we'll finish off with the remainder of the sauce on top of that. I'll just put the oil. Yeah, that smells good, eh?
Absolutely beautiful.
Good, wholesome food.
This is a perfect vegetarian dish.
Absolutely, you said it. This can be modified, like we discussed before, into a vegan dish without any problems whatsoever, simply by using tofu products instead of cheese, and using perhaps soy milk. And personally, I actually like the rice milk these days. Rice milk is beautiful. Some of the brands of rice milk, I actually used them for cooking before, and you can't really tell the difference from the real thing from milk. The white sauce has now been sitting here for about 10 minutes. It's cooled down a little bit, and now we can add the eggs. We don't want to add the eggs when we take the sauce off the stove, because they're going to cook in there. We don't want them to cook at this point of time. We want them to cook when the dish goes in the oven, so it sets the sauce. So here we go. Just put the sauce over the top. And we're just going to spread it. How would I need it? And a thin layer of sauce. Beautiful. And then we're just going to spread it with a spatula to go all over the dish. You don't need too much of that because that sauce is very rich. So just maybe 1 centimeter of thickness is plenty. And we can see it's nice and thick, and it's going to settle nicely. Okay, and now we'll do some extra parmesan on top. A little bit of parmesan on top to finish it off, because it's going to get nice and brown for us. And this dish normally does taste better the next day, and it cuts better the next day as well. And now we can put this in the oven at 180 degrees for about 30 minutes. Should do it. And away we go. Here's a moussaka coming right out. Nice, beautiful golden color. Nice and beautiful, beautiful golden color. Look at these guys. This dish is better if we let it stand for a few hours before we cut it, because it holds better together. You can put it in the fridge and use it within the next 2 or 3 days as well. It does tend to taste better the next day as the flavors blend into the dish. For the sake of our television program, we'll serve it now. You don't have to cook it to that degree that I did, because I put the parmesan on top and I've got this nice golden color. You can have it blonde if you like. I tend to like the flavor of this. Let's have a go at cutting it. You want to present it with me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, Martin, we just got this out of the oven. I was just explaining that you can let this dish rest maybe and use it the next day.
I think the best is when you leave it resting, because
Absolutely.
all the flavors will start to come out. Is that
Exactly, and also if there's any moisture left, it gets absorbed overnight.
Yes.
And it becomes more flavorsome, right? You can actually serve it cold or hot. You can cook this and be serving it for a few days after you cooked it from your fridge or from the cool room. In fact, most people do that. And just like the Indian dishes, it tends to improve with flavor sitting on its own juices.
Yes.
So if we cut it now, it may be a little bit soft because it just came out of the oven, but if we leave it for a few hours and cut it, it'll be nice and solid.
Okay.
But we'll give it a shot. Let's give it a go anyway. So, what do you reckon, Martin?
Yeah, something like that.
So, just go halfway. That smells good. Looks good. And hopefully it'll come out in one piece as well. And it does. I mean, that really, honestly, that's a meal in itself, because you've got your veg here.
Absolutely everything in it.
Absolutely everything in it. You've got the protein in the milk and the cheese, and you've got your fiber and your vitamins of the vegetables. It's really, you don't even need any other veg with it, really. Just serve it and that's it. You can have it as an entree. You can have it as a main course. Just put a little bit of parsley on top, something like that maybe. But here we are, presentation of our vegetarian moussaka.
Smells beautiful.
I know, it smells beautiful. I had a little taste of the sauce. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
And it's nice, you know.
Beautiful moussaka, Greek style, vegetable, vegetarian.
Totally vegetarian.
Beautiful eggplant, zucchini, potatoes, sun-dried tomatoes. Can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. That's exactly. Absolutely. You can't go wrong. Let's have a taste, Martin.
Go ahead.
Let's have a taste, because I'm curious to see. After you eat this, I don't think you eat the meat version anymore.
Absolutely beautiful. Very, very tasty. And I can't explain it. You got to come and get this. This is here at the Manda Villa, the home of our international cooking show.
7:30 on TVS every Monday.
Enjoyed with a nice...
Let me say something, guys. All these recipes, we're putting them all on DVD. We already have Series 1, 26 recipes on DVD. Please check our website. They're worth every cent. These are all recipes from executive chefs. They're treasured recipes. This is what they sell to the public. Well tried, well tested. It's not out of a cookbook that somebody just sat there and wrote. It's the real thing. And like we said before, this is not a competition. We're not putting people against each other to compete who's going to cook best. We just present you good food. We hope you like it. We hope you enjoy it. And thank you for your watching. Thank you for your help from the International Cooking Show.
And the old winery.
And the old winery. All the best. See you soon. Bye-bye.